let me ask you something honest. Have you ever been in this situation? You're at home, maybe in your room or in the shower, and you're speaking English in your head. Perfect English, beautiful sentences, clear ideas. You sound amazing. But then you're in a real situation, maybe at work, maybe in a shop, maybe talking to a stranger, and suddenly your brain just stops. Your mouth opens, but nothing comes out. Or worse, something comes out, but it sounds terrible. Your grammar disappears, your vocabulary vanishes, and you feel like a complete beginner even though you know you're not. If that's you, stay with me, because today I'm going to explain exactly why this happens. And more importantly, I'm going to give you 3 simple techniques that will fix this problem. Not theory, real, practical techniques that you can use today. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English is Very Easy. I'm Jack, and I'm really happy you're here with me today. This topic is so important because I know many of you are struggling with this exact problem. You can read English, you can write English, you understand English when you listen, but when it's time to speak, especially in public, your brain just freezes. And I want you to know something right now before we go any further. This is not your fault. This is not because you're stupid or because your English is bad. This is a psychological and physical response that happens in your body, and once you understand what's happening, you can control it. So today, I'm not going to waste your time with complicated theories or boring grammar lessons. We're going straight to the real problem and the real solutions. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why your brain freezes, and you're going to have 3 powerful techniques to stay calm and speak confidently. Now, before I explain why this happens, let me tell you a personal story. A few years ago, I had to give a presentation at work, just a small presentation to maybe 15 people, nothing huge. And I prepared everything. I practiced at home. I knew my material perfectly. In my head, I sounded brilliant. But when I stood up in front of those 15 people, something strange happened. My heart started racing. My hands started shaking. I could feel my chest getting tight. And when I opened my mouth to speak, my mind went completely blank. I forgot everything. The words I practiced disappeared. I started saying and ah every 2 seconds. My voice sounded shaky and nervous. And the worst part? I could see people looking at me, and in my head I was thinking, they think I'm an idiot. They think I can't do this. And that thought made everything worse. I wanted to run out of the room. I wanted to disappear. Now, that presentation was in my own language. Imagine doing that in English, which is not your native language. That's what many of you face every day, and I understand that fear. I understand that panic. So let's talk about why this happens. Why does your brain freeze when you have to speak in public? And why does it feel like all your English knowledge just disappears? The answer is actually quite simple. When you feel nervous or scared, your body goes into something called fight or flight mode. This is a survival response. Your body thinks you're in danger, so it prepares you to either fight or run away. Now, in real danger, this response is useful. If a wild animal is chasing you, you need your body to react quickly. But when you're standing in front of people trying to speak English, you're not in real danger. Nobody is trying to hurt you, but your body doesn't know the difference. Your body reacts the same way. So what happens in your body during fight or flight mode? Several things. First, your breathing changes. You start breathing up here in your chest instead of down here in your belly. That chest breathing is fast and shallow, and it actually makes you feel more panicked. It's like your body is telling your brain, yes, we are definitely in danger, panic more. Second, blood rushes away from your brain to your muscles because your body thinks you need to run or fight. So the thinking part of your brain, the part that remembers English vocabulary and grammar, doesn't get enough blood. And that's why your mind goes blank. That's why you forget words you know perfectly well. Third, your stress hormone, called cortisol, increases, and cortisol makes you feel anxious, worried, and afraid. Meanwhile, your testosterone hormone decreases, so you literally feel less confident than normal. Are you starting to see the picture? Your body is working against you, not because it wants to hurt you, but because it thinks it's protecting you. Now, here's the interesting part. One of the biggest triggers for this fight or flight response when speaking English is perfectionism. When you focus too much on perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, perfect everything, you create massive pressure on yourself. And that pressure triggers the panic response. Your brain says, I have to be perfect. I can't make mistakes. Everyone is judging me. And boom, fight or flight mode activates. Your breathing changes, your mind goes blank, and you freeze. So the first mental shift I want you to make is this. Stop trying to be perfect. Communication is not about perfection. Communication is about connection. It's about sharing your message, your ideas, your feelings. If people understand you, that's success, even if your grammar isn't perfect, even if you make mistakes. Native English speakers make mistakes all the time. I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. But we still communicate. We still connect. And that's what matters. Okay, so now you understand why your brain freezes. Now let's talk about how to fix it. I'm going to give you 3 techniques. These are not complicated. These are simple, practical things you can do right now. Technique number 1 is breathing. And I know, breathing sounds boring. It sounds too simple, but trust me on this. Breathing is the most powerful tool you have to control your nervous system. Remember I told you that when you're nervous, you breathe up here in your chest. That's the problem. Chest breathing sends panic signals to your brain. But if you change how you breathe, you can actually change how you feel. You can calm your nervous system down. You can tell your body, we're not in danger, we're safe, we can relax. So here's what you need to do. You need to breathe low, down here in your belly. This is called diaphragm breathing or belly breathing. Let me show you how to do this. First, put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. Now, breathe in through your nose, but don't let your chest move. Instead, let your belly expand. Push your belly out like you just ate a huge meal. Your hand on your stomach should move out. Your hand on your chest should stay still. Then breathe out slowly through your mouth, and as you breathe out, your belly goes in. That's it. In through the nose, belly out through the mouth, belly in. Let's try this together right now. Even if you're walking or on a bus, you can do this. Breathe in through your nose, let your belly expand. Good. Now breathe out slowly through your mouth, belly goes in. Excellent. Do that 2 more times with me. In through the nose, belly out through the mouth, belly in. 1 more time. In through the nose, belly out through the mouth, belly in. How do you feel? A little calmer? A little more relaxed? That's the power of breathing. When you breathe low in your belly, you send a signal to your nervous system that says everything is okay. We're safe. Your heart rate slows down, your cortisol decreases, your mind becomes clearer. Now, here's a specific breathing exercise you can do before you have to speak English in public. It's called 4-count breathing. Very simple. You breathe in for 4 counts, then you breathe out for 4 counts. That's it. Let me guide you through this. Ready? Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for just a moment. Now breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. In 1, 2, 3, 4. Out 1, 2, 3, 4. If you do this for just 2 or 3 minutes before you have to speak English in public, your body will calm down significantly. You'll feel more in control. Your mind will be clearer. This technique has been scientifically proven to reduce stress hormones and increase confidence hormones. So that's technique number 1, belly breathing. Low, slow breathing. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Practice this every day. Make it a habit and use it before any situation where you have to speak English. Now, let's move to technique number 2. This one is about how you speak, specifically how to stop saying and ah every 2 seconds. Have you noticed that when you're nervous, you say and ah a lot? I think, maybe, ah. It makes you sound uncertain. It makes you sound less confident. And actually, it makes you feel less confident too. So why do we say and ah? The reason is simple. We're trying to fill the silence. When we stop speaking to think about what to say next, we feel uncomfortable with that silence, so we fill it with sounds. Ah, like, But here's the secret. Silence is actually powerful. When you pause, when you take a moment to think, you don't look stupid. You look thoughtful. You look confident. You look like someone who is choosing their words carefully. The problem is, most people don't pause properly. They leave their mouth open when they stop speaking. And when your mouth is open and you're thinking, sound comes out. That sound is or ah. So here's the technique. When you finish a sentence, close your mouth. Physically close it, lips together, and think about what you want to say next. When you're ready, open your mouth and speak again. Let me demonstrate the wrong way first. So today I want to talk about speaking English in public. See how that sounds? Nervous, uncertain. Now let me show you the right way. Today I want to talk about speaking English in public. I'm going to show you 3 techniques. The first technique is breathing. Did you notice the difference? I paused, but I closed my mouth. No no ah, just clear pauses. This technique is so simple, but it's incredibly effective. For the next 2 days, I want you to practice this. Every time you speak English, even if you're just talking to yourself at home, practice closing your mouth when you pause. It will feel strange at first. You might feel like you're pausing too long, but you're not, trust me. And here's the beautiful thing. When you stop filling every silence with and ah, something amazing happens. You start to sound more confident. And when you sound more confident, you start to feel more confident. It's a positive cycle. So technique number 2, close your mouth when you pause. No no ah. Just breathe, think, and speak when you're ready. Now these 2 techniques, breathing and pausing, are physical techniques. They help your body stay calm. But I want to give you one more technique. This one is mental. This one is about how you think about speaking in English in public. Most people approach speaking English with this mindset. They think, I have to be perfect. I can't make mistakes. Everyone will judge me if I'm not perfect. And that mindset creates enormous pressure. That pressure triggers the fight or flight response, and you freeze. So we need to change the mindset. We need to change how you think about speaking. Here's the new mindset I want you to adopt. My goal is not perfection. My goal is connection. I'm here to share my message. If people understand me, that's success. Mistakes are okay. Mistakes are normal. Mistakes are part of learning. Let me tell you another story. Last year, I met a woman from Brazil. Her English was not perfect. She made grammar mistakes. She had a strong accent. Sometimes she couldn't find the right word and she had to explain using simpler words. But you know what? She was the most interesting person at that event. Why? Because she focused on communication, not perfection. She told stories, she asked questions, she laughed, she connected with people. Nobody cared about her grammar mistakes. Nobody judged her accent. People were interested in what she was saying, not how she was saying it. That's the power of focusing on communication instead of perfection. So here's what I want you to do. Before you have to speak English in public, remind yourself of this. Say to yourself, I am here to communicate. I'm here to share my ideas. Mistakes are okay. Connection is the goal. Just that simple mental reminder can reduce your anxiety significantly. And here's another powerful mental technique. Lower your stakes. What do I mean by lower your stakes? I mean, stop making every conversation feel like a life or death situation. Stop thinking, this is so important, I have to do perfectly or everything will be ruined. The truth is, most conversations are low stakes. You're ordering coffee, you're asking for directions, you're making small talk. These are not life or death situations. Even if you make mistakes, nothing bad will happen. The world will keep turning. Nobody will remember your grammar mistakes tomorrow. So practice treating conversations as experiments. Experiments are allowed to fail. That's the whole point of an experiment. You try something to see what happens. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, you learn something and you try again. This experimental mindset removes so much pressure. You're not performing. You're not being judged. You're just experimenting. You're just practicing. You're just trying. Let me give you some practical ways to practice this. Start with very low-stakes situations. Talk to yourself in English at home. Describe what you're doing. Narrate your day like you're making a video. Now I'm making coffee. I'm opening the cupboard. I'm taking out a cup. This is safe practice. No pressure, no judgment. Then move to slightly higher stakes. Record yourself speaking on your phone. Don't post it anywhere. Just record it for yourself. Talk about your day, your thoughts, your opinions. Listen back. You'll notice mistakes. That's good. Now you know what to work on. Then move even higher. Send a voice message to a friend in English, or join an English conversation group online where everyone is learning together. These are still low stakes because everyone is learning together. Everyone makes mistakes together. As you practice in these low-stakes situations, you build confidence. You prove to yourself, I can do this. I can speak, I can communicate, mistakes happen, and it's okay. And that confidence carries over to higher-stakes situations. So technique number 3 is mental. Change your focus from perfection to communication. Lower your stakes. Treat conversations as experiments. And remind yourself that mistakes are okay, mistakes are normal, mistakes are part of the process. Now, let's put all 3 techniques together. Imagine you have to give a presentation at work tomorrow in English. You're nervous, your brain is already starting to panic. Here's what you do. First, practice your breathing. Tonight before bed, do the 4-count breathing for 5 minutes. In for 4, out for 4. Calm your nervous system. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, do it again. 5 minutes of 4-count breathing. Then right before your presentation, maybe in the bathroom or outside the room, do it one more time, 2 or 3 minutes. Breathe low and slow. Tell your body, we're safe, we're calm. Second, during your presentation, close your mouth when you pause. Don't fill the silence with and ah. Speak a sentence, close your mouth, think, speak again. Close your mouth, think, speak again. The silence makes you look confident and thoughtful. Third, remind yourself of the right mindset. Before you start, say to yourself, I am here to share information. I'm here to communicate. Connection is my goal, not perfection. Mistakes are okay. That mental reminder will reduce your anxiety. If you use all 3 techniques together, your experience will be completely different. You'll feel calmer, you'll speak more clearly, you'll make fewer and ah sounds, you'll feel more in control, and most importantly, you'll actually communicate effectively. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Jack, this sounds easy in theory, but what if I still freeze? What if I still panic? That's a fair question, and here's my answer. Change doesn't happen instantly. These techniques work, but they require practice. You can't just read about breathing and expect to be calm immediately. You have to practice breathing every day. You can't just hear about closing your mouth once and expect to stop saying and ah forever. You have to consciously practice it for a few days until it becomes automatic. Think of it like learning to drive a car. At first, everything feels difficult. You have to think about every action. Check the mirror, turn the wheel, press the pedal. But after practicing for a while, it becomes automatic. You don't think about it anymore. You just drive. These speaking techniques are the same. Practice them and they become automatic. And here's something important I want you to understand. Even if you practice these techniques and you still feel nervous, that's okay. Nervousness is normal. Even professional speakers feel nervous sometimes. The difference is they don't let the nervousness stop them. They feel the nervousness, they breathe through it, they pause when they need to, they focus on communication, and they keep going. Let me tell you one more story before we finish. I have a friend who used to be terrified of speaking English in meetings, absolutely terrified. His English was actually quite good, but the moment he had to speak in a meeting, his mind would go blank. He would start sweating. His voice would shake. He avoided speaking whenever possible. Then he started practicing these exact techniques. Every morning he would do breathing exercises for 5 minutes. Every day he would practice speaking to himself and closing his mouth when he paused. Every time before a meeting, he would remind himself communication, not perfection. And slowly, over a few weeks, things changed. He still felt nervous in meetings, but he didn't freeze anymore. He could speak. He could share his ideas. And you know what? People started listening to him. People started respecting his opinions. His career improved. His confidence grew. All because he learned to manage his nervous system and change his mindset. You can do this too. You really can. Your English is probably better than you think. The problem is not your English. The problem is the panic response in your body. And now you know how to manage that response. So, let me summarize everything we talked about today. Your brain freezes in public because your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your breathing changes, blood leaves your brain, stress hormones increase. This is a physical response, not a language problem. To fix this, use 3 techniques. Number 1, belly breathing. Low, slow breathing. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. This calms your nervous system. Number 2, close your mouth when you pause. No more and ah, just clear, confident pauses. Number 3, change your mindset. Focus on communication, not perfection. Lower your stakes. Treat conversations as experiments. Practice these 3 techniques every day. Start with low-stakes situations. Talk to yourself. Record yourself. Send voice messages. Join practice groups. Build your confidence gradually. And when you have to speak in a real situation, use all 3 techniques together. Breathe, pause, communicate. Remember, change takes time. Be patient with yourself. You're not going to transform overnight, but if you practice consistently, you will improve. You will feel calmer. You will speak more clearly. You will freeze less often. Now, here's what I want you to do after this video. I want you to practice the breathing technique right now, just for 2 minutes. Find a quiet place, close your eyes if you can, and breathe low in your belly. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Do this for 2 minutes. Set a timer if you need to. Just 2 minutes. And notice how you feel afterward. Then, for the next 2 days, practice closing your mouth when you pause. Every time you speak, even at home alone, consciously close your mouth when you stop speaking. It will feel weird at first, but by day 3, it'll start to feel natural, and you'll notice you're saying and ah much less. And finally, write down this sentence somewhere you'll see it. Maybe on your phone, maybe on a sticky note on your desk. Write this: communication, not perfection. Connection is the goal. Read that sentence before you have to speak English. It will remind you of the right mindset. I really hope this episode helped you today. I know speaking English in public is scary. I know it feels like your brain is working against you. But now you understand why that happens, and you have real, practical tools to change it. If you found this helpful, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, which technique are you going to try first? Are you going to focus on breathing, on pausing, or on changing your mindset? Let me know in the comments, and don't worry about your English being perfect in the comment. Just practice communicating. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I'm really grateful. And I want you to know, I believe in you. You can do this. You can speak English confidently in public. It just takes practice and the right techniques. Until next time, keep practicing, keep breathing, keep pausing, and keep communicating. You're doing great. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.